Multicultural Teaching in Action, Chapter 12. Normalization in Special Education. Normalization is making available all mentally retarded people patterns of life and conditions of everyday living which are as close as possible to the regular circumstances and way of life of society. This was an idea that emerged in Scandinavian countries in the 1960s when working with people who had cognitive disabilities. Normalization means that individuals with disabilities of any kind and of any age should still be able to live and experience the same kinds of experiences and daily routines and rhythms as those of people who do not have disabilities. It's all about giving them the support they need in a way that doesn't make them feel singled out. This is especially true for kids and teens in school who need extra help. The goal is to make sure they can join in with their classmates as much as possible, just like any other kid. The emergence of special education. Special education was born out of a deep-seated belief in the inherent worth of every individual and the conviction that education is a powerful tool for societal contribution. It began as a rescue mission in the 1860s, when a significant number of children with disabilities were confined to almshouses, which by the 1870s, a state board of charities supported by local benevolent societies initiated a major effort to save these children, which later evolved into the National Conference of Charities and Corrections. Some more privileged families advocate for schooling for their children, a tradition of parent advocacy that has since led to significant policy reforms. Early specialized programs were centralized and focused on basic care and instruction, but the ultimate goal was always to achieve independence and integration into society. Although attitudes towards deviance sometimes hinder this goal, specialized instruction gradually moved into common schools by the 20th century, driven in part by the need to accommodate diverse student populations, including immigrants. Special classes, initially intended for various purposes, eventually evolved into classes for children with cognitive disabilities, among other needs. A relatively new idea is that young people need to be prepared for success in a global economy. The fact that the world they will enter is diverse has important implications for the learning experiences of all children, regardless of disability or health impairment. After all, kids with disabilities won't grow up in a world filled only with others like them, and kids without disabilities won't grow up in a world without diversity. The reality is clear in schools and classrooms, where every group of kids is a mix of different abilities and backgrounds. It is a reminder that every child is unique. Collaboration in special education. The law says we need to work together from different areas of expertise when assessing a student's ability and planning their individualized education program, an IEP. But collaboration goes beyond that. It's about regular and special educators and specialists coming together to make sure the student's program works well in practice. The law also says parents need to be informed and involved in the process. But collaboration means going further. It means making sure the IEP reflects what matters most to the family and that home and school are on the same page. The law also says that students with disabilities should be educated alongside their peers without disabilities as much as possible. But collaboration is making sure that a positive experience for everyone. It's about creating a classroom where everyone feels respected and included, and where students can learn from each other. While policy is important, there are other things like research that also shape how we teach. And remember, what's considered old and new in education is always changing. In inclusive classrooms, all students with or without disabilities are meant to benefit. It's about boosting self-esteem for everyone and meeting individual needs better than in traditional classrooms. For students with disabilities, it means not feeling different or left out or by having to go into a separate room for instruction. It's a smoother, more integrated day. Special education teachers can apply their interventions directly to real learning situations and adjust as needed. In co-teaching setups, there's always someone there, and having two perspectives can lead to a more creative teaching. Mutual understanding and respect are key. Special educators should recognize the value of their regular education techniques and understand the constraints of the regular classroom. Regular educators should appreciate the time and resources their special education colleagues have and be patient when trying new strategies. Together, they should work together on reinforcing IEP goals and objectives during classroom activities.